So in Ontario, the Bruce Peninsula, Georgian Bay area, high instant reports have emerged near the Bruce Peninsula National Park. Local trackers have noted unusual heavy-footed tracks in the melting snow. This activity aligns with a recent winter ultra event in the area, which may have pushed individuals out of the deeper forest corridor towards the coast. In the Barrie-Simcoe County, Orillia area, following historical activity in the Midland and Orillia corridor, researchers used infrared equipment on the night of March 7th and recorded heat signatures larger than the standard black bear. These were moving bipedally along the edge of the frozen marshland. In northwestern Ontario, the Rainy River District, a road crossing sighting was reported by a transport driver early March 8th. The figure was described as over 7 feet tall, dark fur, and clearing the roadway in 3 strides. Wow. In the Bancroft region, Dogman, Bancroft and Hastings County, local social media groups have flagged a large wolf-like creature standing on 2 legs near Bancroft. Reports from March 8th describe the entity as having a muscular, lean build, frame with a distinct canine head. In the Niagara region, a report from just outskirts of Niagara Falls, March 7th, involving a motorist seeing a large, pointed-eared creature crouching by a deer carcass. When the headlights hit, the creature stood up and bolted into the brush bipedally, dog-like leg structures digitally graded. Hellhound and Skinwalker, Eastern Ontario, the Van Leek Hill and Glengarry area. In a rural area of Van Leek Hill, there have been reports of shadow canines with reflective yellow eyes, sometimes red. These hellhounds reports often occur near older homesteads. A sighting on March 8th was described as a dog the size of a pony that vanished when approached. Prince Edward County, Ontario. Local lore and recent 2026 sightings have merged. A resident near the shore reported a silent black mass resembling a dog that seemed to glide rather than walk during the early hours of March 9th, so this morning. Skinwalkers, while less common in Ontario than in the Western, reports of a mimicking cry, voices sounding like family members from the woods were noted near Algonquin Park over the weekend. This is often categorized by local researchers as a skinwalker type high strangeness. Well, there's a lot of notes in Algonquin Park of skinwalkers over the years that I've noted, so it's not unlike them to be in that area. Spider humanoids, Lake Simcoe, Kempenfelt Bay. So that's in Barrie area. And Orillia, but Kempenfelt Bay is in the Barrie area. The most unusual reports from the last 48 hours involve spider humanoids or scuttering entities. Witnesses near Barrie waterfront report seeing a multi-limbed figure moving quickly across the ice and the rocks under the cover of the moon on March 7th through March 8th. So in the late hours of March 7th, early morning hours of March 8th. The scutter effect. This is described as a human-sized but moving with an insect-like gait, often near the water or damp cave systems of the escarpment region. So in Quebec, the Chic-Choc Mountains in the Gaspésie region, hikers report finding non-human tracks on March 8th in the deep snow. The prints noted for their width and depth suggest a creature of significant weight, And this region, of course, remains a primary hotspot due to the dense and rugged terrain. In the James Bay region, local monitoring of the Windjammer area continues following historical sightings of red eyes. While no photos were confirmed this weekend, wood knocks and unusual vocalizations were reported by hunters near the tree line on the night of March 7th. And in Gatineau, they're having a Bigfoot conference there, a Sasquatch conference. And it was reported on the weekend over March 7th and 8th. Two separate parties reported heavy movement in the brush near Gatineau Park, while no visual confirmations were made of a Sasquatch. Dogman. In the Par de Cyyptid area, St. Lawrence, the Laurentians area, the Seven Chute Falls. A hiker on the trail noted wolf-like figures that appeared to be stalking the trail cleaning crew. Workers described a sense of being watched by something that stood taller than any timber wolf. Eastern Townships, and this is in the Sherbrooke area, reports of a large muscular canine on the side of Route 143 on Saturday night. The witness noted the creature had a short snout, much shorter than a wolf, but it posed powerful human shoulders. Hellhounds and skinwalkers in the St. Lawrence Delta North Shore area. Reports of a dark, shifting mass resembling a dog have surfaced near St. Lawrence Delta. This aligns with older accounts from the region of a beast that haunts the surrounding woods. On March 8th, a property owner reported their game cameras glitching at the exact moment a large, dark shape passed through the frame. Skinwalkers and mimicking cries. Reports of vocal mimicking cries of human voices calling out from areas where no humans should be were noted in the woods near Mount Tremblant late March 7th, early March 9th. Spider humanoids. Southern Quebec, the St. Pierre Lake area. While researchers have been tracking a northern migration of different species of spiders like black widows, local cryptoid enthusiasts are investigating more unusual reports of humanoid spider-like creatures. In the Montreal undercurrents, reports circulating regarding a multi-limbed figure seen near the drainage system and the old industrial sections of Montreal over the weekend. This remains unverified, but described it as moving with unnatural, jittery gait. So in the Northwest Territories, the Nanny Valley area, there were reports of an unusual bipedal heat signatures on the night of March 7th. Regarding a hairy wild man in the area, and that's remains a high point for seeing those. Great Bear Lake shorelines. Early morning hours of March 8th report involve a large upright figure seen near the tree line of the eastern shores of Great Bear Lake. Witness described the mass entity that moved with significant speed through the muskegs, estimated to be well above 8 feet tall. Dogman and crawlers. Hay River, Great Slave Lake area. A new account surfaced from the early morning hours, that's this morning, March 9th. A worker near the southern shores of the Great Slave Lake reported a pale, long-limbed creature with reflective eyes that moved with predatory aggression. and it crouched. Dog Rib Traditional Lands, reports of a canine, unnatural, in the boreal forest between Great Slave Lake and Great Bear Lake. So the witness on March 8th described it had a wolf head, and it stood on two legs for several minutes before bolting off into the brush on all fours. Hellhounds and skinwalkers. Mackenzie Mountain Range, reports of a spectral dog or hellhound were noted by remote monitoring stations near Mackenzie Mountains on the night of March 7th. These entities are described as having shimmering, translucent qualities, appearing in areas where no physical tracks were found the following morning. Yellowknife, the outskirts. Reports of a vocal mimicking cry surfaced near Ingram Trail on March 8th. Campers reported hearing the voices of friends who were not present, a phenomena frequently categorized as a skinwalker or a shadow walker in the subarctic. Spider humanoids, abandoned mining sites. Reports of multi-limb scuttering have emerged from the old decommissioned mine shaft near Yellowknife. On the evening of March 8th, a security contractor reported seeing a thin, multi-jointed figure moving horizontally across a metal structure with a jittery, insect-like gait. Similar reports in the Maritimes of spider-like humanoid figures were allegedly seen near entrances of deep caves, formations, or crevettes in the rocks, South Slave region on early morning of March 9th. Now, there has been right across Canada, there was mutilations. I believe it was the 8th or the late 7th, early 8th of March. There were animal mutilations, so I think the spider incidents are coinciding with those. I'm going to take a look at the strange and weird next. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day. And if you'd like, please hit subscribe. It really helps me in the algorithms. Thank you.